There is a specific kind of moment almost every single person knows intimately. You are at a family dinner or a wedding, or scrolling through your phone at 11 at night, and someone asks the question, or worse, you ask it to yourself, why am I still alone? Not, why am I single right now, which is just a fact. Why am I still alone, which is a verdict. One sounds like a circumstance, the other sounds like a diagnosis. And here is what I actually want to unpack with you today, because almost nobody addresses this directly. The bad feeling about being single is rarely about the single part. It is about the story you've been told your whole life about what being single means. By the end of this video, you are going to see that story clearly enough to stop believing it automatically, and you are going to walk away with a completely different relationship to your own timeline. Let's start with where this feeling actually comes from, because it didn't appear out of nowhere. From a very young age, most people absorb a particular narrative through movies, through family expectations, through the entire architecture of how holidays and milestones get celebrated, that a romantic partner is the missing piece, that your life is technically incomplete, technically still in its rough draft, until someone else shows up to finish the sentence. Every happily ever after ends at the relationship, not after it. Nobody hands you a sequel about what happens to Cinderella at year 7 when the dishes pile up and somebody's annoyed about something small. The story stops exactly where real life would actually start, and it stops there because the entire myth depends on partnership being the finish line. So when you are single and you've absorbed that story since childhood without ever examining it, of course it feels like you are behind. Of course it feels like everyone else already crossed some line you haven't even reached yet. You are not failing at life. You are just measuring your life against a finish line that was never real to begin with. Here is the part that actually matters more than the myth itself, though. The myth doesn't just make you feel bad. It changes your behavior in ways that quietly work against you finding something real. When being single feels like a problem that urgently needs solving, you stop looking for a person, you start looking for an exit. And those are two completely different searches with two completely different outcomes. Let me show you the difference with two people experiencing the exact same single season of life. The first is a woman we'll call Dana. Dana feels the weight of being single constantly. Every wedding invitation, every "so are you seeing anyone?" every algorithm feeding her another couple's anniversary post. So she starts dating from a place of urgency. She overlooks red flags that her gut clearly notices, because addressing them would mean starting over, and starting over feels unbearable when you already feel behind. She talks herself into compatibility with people who quietly require her to become smaller, because being chosen even by the wrong person finally makes that background hum of shame go quiet for a while. The relationship that follows doesn't fix the feeling, it just postpones it, usually with interest, because eventually the wrong relationship ends too, and she is right back where she started, except now also exhausted and a little more distrustful of her own judgment. No, picture a second version of Dana. Same exact circumstances, same family dinners, same wedding invitations. But this version starts treating her single season differently. Not as a waiting room, but as something closer to an apprenticeship. She uses the actual time to notice patterns she has repeated in every relationship she has had. She starts therapy not because she is broken, but because she wants to walk into the next relationship already knowing her own blind spots instead of discovering them the hard way for the third time. She builds friendships deep enough to hold real weight, not just acquaintances who fill a calendar. When the question comes up at dinner, she doesn't flinch the way she used to, because she is no longer measuring her worth by whether someone else has chosen her yet. Sami's starting point, same external pressure too, completely different relationships to time. And that difference shapes everything that comes after it. Here is the psychological piece underneath all of this. And it is worth saying plainly, loneliness and being single are not the same thing. Even though almost everyone treats them as identical, you can be deeply lonely inside a relationship, sitting next to someone who is physically there and emotionally 1,000 miles away. And you can be single and feel genuinely full, connected to friends, curious about your own life, comfortable in your own company. Being single is a circumstance. Loneliness is a feeling that can show up in either circumstance, and conflating the two is exactly what makes singlehood feel so much heavier than it actually has to. So if the feeling isn't really about being single, what is it actually about? Usually it is about meaning. Humans don't do well with unstructured time that feels purposeless. And if you've never been taught another story about what single time is for, it defaults to feeling like dead air. Time you are just waiting through until your real life resumes. But that is a story, not a fact. And stories can be rewritten. Here is how you actually start rewriting it. First, stop treating your single season as a holding pattern and start treating it as the only time in your life when your growth is entirely self-directed. No one else's schedule, no one else's compromises, no one else's needs competing for your attention. That is not a deficiency. That is bandwidth. Almost nobody gets twice. Second, get specific about what you are actually building during this time. Instead of just waiting for it to end, are you healing a pattern that is shown up in every past relationship? Are you building friendships substantial enough to carry real weight, not just plans on a Friday night? Are you learning what you actually want, instead of what looked good on paper the last time someone wanted you? Single time spent this way doesn't feel like waiting. It feels like preparation. And preparation feels completely different in your body than limbo does. Third, and this one matters more than people expect, get honest about the difference between solitude and isolation. Solitude is chosen, and it restores you. Isolation creeps in quietly and depletes you, often disguised as independence. If your single life has started to feel like isolation, if you've stopped reaching out, stopped showing up, stopped letting people in close, that is worth addressing directly. Not because being single is the problem, but because disconnection from people in general, romantic or otherwise, is what actually erodes well-being. The goal was never to need no one. It was to build a full life with people in it, with or without a partner currently inside it. Here is the mindset shift I want you to actually walk away with. Being single was never proof that something is wrong with you, and it was never a problem waiting to be solved by the next person who shows interest. It is a chapter with its own value, its own use, its own kind of growth that simply isn't available once your time and attention start belonging to someone else too. You are not behind. You are not unchosen. You are just in a part of the story that the culture forgot to write a script for, which means you finally get to write your own. If this helped you see your own single season differently, tell me below, what is one thing you've actually built or learned during this chapter of your life that you wouldn't trade, even if it ends tomorrow? I want to hear it. And if you've ever wondered why you keep choosing the wrong person just to avoid being alone, that is exactly what the next video is about. So make sure you are subscribed before it goes up.